Hi guys, I'm here with Philip, who is the co-founder of Solidatus.
Solidatus. You have to think of an Italian gentleman pronouncing a Latin word, Solidatus.
Solidatus. It gives it an
means
air,
to knit
right?
or to consolidate.
All right. Well, then tell us then. So what's behind the name then? What is your business that you're involved in?
Well, knitting or consolidating is a good description of what we do. So it's also got solid and data in there. So we're a data company. We're really interested in how data is formed and the structure of data. So essentially we look at data as not the bits and pieces that are stored within databases, but the structure around it.
Okay. So it's sort of like the architecture that frames all of it.
Absolutely, that's a really good way of thinking about it. So one analogy would be if you had a blueprint for a building, there would be no way that you would change that building without referring to that blueprint and amending it. In technology, one of the things that we seem to have lost is a little bit of formality around registering changes to our financial systems without changing the blueprint of how the financial systems look.
Okay.
So companies attack this. They have a couple of architects at the center, maybe thousands of developers.
Yeah.
And these thousands of developers are making a couple of lines of code changes an hour. The guys at the center lost the war. And so we're trying to socialize that again.
Okay then. So, one of the things that we were just chatting about is how we have all these connections that have brought you today to Hong Kong Fintech Week,
Absolutely.
right? So can you tell us about that? I think you've got lots of relationships that bring you here.
So we're enormously proud to be here. We're part of the Department for International Trade for the UK government, and we're here as part of their trade mission. But we got involved with the FinTech Week much earlier in the year as part of a connection we made in London at the Innovate Finance Global Summit, which InvestHK were at. And we sort of, through a real convoluted chain of events, met Charles Dosey and Torsten at InvestHK, Charles in Hong Kong, Torsten in London. And there was this wonderful conversation between InvestHK and the Department for International Trade saying, you've got a cool fintech. How come we discovered this in Hong Kong? And they're a UK company and we're introducing you. So get the introductions done, go and sort itself out, and then bring them back to Hong Kong for FinTech Week. And so here we are, and it's amazing.
That's super exciting. I think we do have a really great energy here at the event, and it seems like lots of connections are happening. This is your first time here then?
It's first time at FinTech Week.
Okay.
So I've been in and out of Hong Kong for more than 20 years, and I love the city, I love the vibe here. It's been absolutely reproduced here in the venue and at all the fringe events going around. It's an amazing event. We came here, so we're a privately held British company. We have absolutely got aspirations to be here in Asia. Hong Kong is a great jumping off point, and it's very exciting for us. We came here purely to sell software. We think because we're a private company, we absolutely know we sell a bit of software here. We can absolutely set up here within months and be employing local guys in Hong Kong and all the way through China, and expanding ourselves, but also sorting out data for people, and that's our passion.
Yeah.
It's a very dry subject, but it's enormously expensive.
Yeah, no, some sort of a recurring theme that we've really been discussing here at FinTech Week has been talking about just the changing nature of the behind the scenes stuff, right? Is that the really revolutionary stuff isn't necessarily sexy or talked about, but this shift that we're seeing to having the finance become almost like the institution, right? The institutionalized part on the back end where that is really just transforming the industry.
Absolutely, and if we want to get to the place where we've got open data and you've got lots of collaboration, lots of little companies as part of that data ecosystem, what you really have to have is a good description and a good understanding of the purpose of your data. We live in a privacy-conscious age. If we use data inappropriately, there'll be a backlash against it. You can see it all around the world. And our real, if you like, our passion is to make sure that data is open and free for people to use responsibly.
Right, so if you're sort of turning this into utility, so you want to make all those open channels and access points, but you also want to give people control so that the user is being considered in this, right?
We want to give people transparency. There's no point in sort of covering up and saying you're transparent without actually having that transparency.
Right.
When I see people and cookies and websites, I really should see who's using my data.
Right.
I shouldn't have to read 1,000 pages of legal documentation to work that out. It should be visceral and in my face. And that's our passion, is to give it all as a really open thing for people as a right.
All right, so there we have it. Our likable people in fintech making finance a more likable thing, right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you so much, Philip, for joining us and making time for us. You're a speaker and so important at this event. We're going to have more interviews, more live videos from you from Hong Kong Fintech Week. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell for the channel.